My name is Emma Sharp, and I'm going to be talking about The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlie Perkins Gilman and explaining the important ideas it explores, such as mental health, control, and identity. Introduction. The story was written in 1982 and mainly focuses on women's mental health during a time when women didn't really have any independence at all. It shows how society controlled women, especially through medical treatments, what they said was medical treatments. And I think it's just really important because it shows how harmful those ideas can be and how harmful the treatments can also be as well. And helps us understand how much the treatments have changed. What did I read? The story that I read was The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlie Perkins Gilman, obviously. It was published in the New England magazine and was about a woman whose husband takes her to a house in the countryside to help her recover from what he calls a mental illness. Um, he tells her pretty much, don't do any work, don't think, pretty much, don't even write, which is what she actually enjoyed doing. Um, and while she's there, she's trapped in this room and she becomes very focused on the yellow wallpaper on the wall. Eventually, towards the end of the story, thinking there's a woman trapped in there. And by the end of the story, she's completely just lost touch with all of reality. My first reaction of the story, I thought that it was kind of creepy and unsettling, and I was honestly kind of confused because of the way that the narrator kind of said stuff. It just almost like nothing really felt real. Like I couldn't tell what, because it was in first person, I couldn't tell what the woman was imagining, what was actually real. And it was just kind of strange. But after reading it for a second time, I understood it a lot better and realized the deeper meaning and the symbolism of the wallpaper. Formal aspects. This story is a type of psychological fiction and mainly uses narration and description. One of the biggest literary techniques is symbolism, and the yellow wallpaper on the wall was representing how the narrator felt trapped in her life and even in her own mind. The author uses lots of detailed imagery when describing the wallpaper, which makes it feel, gives it that uncomfortable and unsettling feeling. And I would even go as far to say it was kind of disturbing. Since it's written in first person, we get to see not like just what it looks like to be that person, but we get to like almost feel it ourselves, like what it feels like to be going mentally insane as the story goes on and it shows. It helps us as readers see how bad her decline really was throughout the story. Scope and content. The story takes place in the 1800s when women didn't have any control over their life. The rest cure that the narrator is given was a real treatment at the time and pretty much just forces women to rest, not do anything, not think, and avoid any type of mental activity, pretty much. The story focuses on themes like control, loss of identity, and mental health, and shows how women were treated like they couldn't make their own decision, which made, I would say, made the situation worse rather than better. Style. The story's written in first person, like I've said multiple times, and meaning that like the narrator's unreliable, so you can't really trust everything that she says, which could cause confusion like it did for me the first time that I read it. At the beginning of the story, she's more calm, collected, like a normal person, but